Man, a lot happened this week though, man. You know, a lot of things ran down the timeline. What y'all think about y'all feeling like injecting yourself with any cleaners or anything like that to try to ward off coronavirus?
Something about that disinfectant.
But why do everybody take this man seriously, G? I'm just saying. Like people actually out here debating if it's the right thing to do. What the fuck are you talking about? It's clearly not the right. It's clearly not the right thing to do. The man did not. Why have experts? Why have advisors? If you always just gonna say what the fuck you want to say out the dome.
That alone is a sign of poor leadership, man. You're supposed to bring people in around you who are smarter than you to help you make better decisions. If you just gonna throw whatever the fuck out you feel,
He been doing that. He been doing ever since he was campaigning back in 2016.
I just want people to keep that same energy.
People still voted for him.
I want people to keep that same energy whenever the next president gets into office, because this dude literally just said what the fuck he want to say whenever he want to say it, and people just eat it up. Like, even though we all know that the whole injecting yourself with Lysol is fucking stupid, but it's a top story on CNN. Like, why get this man that time? Because we all know it's bullshit.
Now, okay, I get it. Trump, he's definitely an asshole. He shouldn't be in the White House. So, I mean, are y'all more comfortable with Joe Biden right now?
I'm gonna say this.
I'm so mad, Bernie. Bernie lost.
I'm gonna say this. G. I'm gonna say this, man. No, Biden's not really my pick. Okay, I was leaning towards Biden. I'm sorry, I was leaning towards Bernie.
All right.
But it didn't happen. So at this point, it don't take much to decide who I'm siding with. Yes, I'm gonna vote for Biden. What other choice do we have at this point? What other choice do we have, dude? I mean,
you can do a protest vote third party, or no, don't vote at all.
And vote Trump into office.
Are you doing, Rob? All you doing at the end of the day is dividing the vote. You dividing the people. So
no, I'm not.
No, you splitting the vote.
You are.
No,
you splitting the vote, man.
Yeah, you are. You
yes,
split.
You are.
I live in Illinois, so the Democrats are going to get Illinois anyway. So I mean,
don't vote.
Right. I said don't vote or vote third party, just as a protest vote.
So what would be the purpose of voting third party? If nobody's gonna see your vote anyway, you may as well not vote.
I'll wait.
Yeah, because they need like a threshold of like 3 or 4% in order to qualify for like the next election like cycle debates and all that type of stuff. So they need a threshold. So if we constantly just vote either red or blue, then nothing's really going to totally change.
Oh, nothing's going to change regardless. At this point, our government, our government's way of operating is too far entrenched for any massive overhaul or change with the system. So that's a dead thought anyway.
So are y'all satisfied it had the Democrats handle the whole election process?
Absolutely not. It's terrible.
So but
that ain't got nothing to do with the candidates.
It has everything to do with it.
No. I don't think that the way that I think Democrats did not have a clear vision as to what they wanted this country to look like. I think that they are that Democratic politicians are way too reluctant to move with any type of force. Like they've allowed Trump and his foolishness to clear a path for them as opposed to actually creating a path for themselves. So that's where my problem is. It's like, okay, you see this big vacant hole left by Trump and his stupidity and all his antics, and you figure that's exactly the way that you should go. Man, my green screen acting real stupid right now. But the thing is, they don't have a clear path as to where they want to go. They're allowing themselves to be identified by another candidate's mishaps. That was exactly Hillary Clinton's problem. That's why she lost.
Yeah, but that was the corporate Democrat wing of the party. But you have Bernie swing, which was the progressives. I mean, they have a totally different message than the corporate Democrats.
I agree with that, but Bernie had to switch to become a Democrat in order to garner enough attention to even be in the conversation. He couldn't have ran as a progressive. He couldn't have ran as a progressive, and that's because that partition of the government or of political way of thinking is just not going to be relevant, and it may be in the next 30 years, but it's not going to be in the next 10 or 15. So
imagine Bernie dropped out and then ran as third party, and most of his supporters would have, went over to the third party. Imagine what that would have did to the Democratic Party.
That wouldn't have happened, though. Even if he would have dropped out as a Democrat and started to run as a progressive, those people who were following him as Democrats still heavily outweighed those people who were following him as progressives. You make a dramatic change like that, and people say, "Oh, you're not Democrat anymore." People just think that Democrat is the way they're supposed to vote. They don't even listen to the context of the conversation.
I think what we're going through right now is we have the baby boomers, which is our parents, maybe their parents, that are still trying to hold on to an era of traditional politics. But I think our generation, our kids, at least 10, 15 years from now, the politics will be totally different. I think if the Democratic Party really want to change, it was right there for them. It's right there for them to take it. I think Bernie ideas probably scared the old folks a little bit too much. And that's why you see Bernie have most of the young people or the youth. Where the youth was like, okay, we got to take chances. This is where we want to go. Where you have the older generation who's saying, no, I like things the way they are now. So I think that's why a lot of people, that's why Bernie didn't get the nomination, because I think people actually are scared of change. Right now, I mean, the thing is, what makes Biden is 76 years old. Mm-hmm. What makes his idea like? What makes his idea? I can't relate to his ideas. I'm not 76 years old. That's why even though Bernie was old too, but at least Bernie had the ideas.
Bernie had the same message throughout his whole political career.
That's going to affect my life. I don't feel like anything Biden may do in the future is directly changing my life. I'm a big advocate for free healthcare. I'm a big advocate for a free college tuition. That's not what Biden is running on.
Right.
So that's what I mean by like just the ideas. I think as a whole scared the Democratic Party as a whole, because obviously, and we all can tell that they just totally shifted once Biden lost those first couple of races. They clearly shifted their support to Biden. It's obvious.
Right. I think it was Obama that made that phone call to those other candidates and say, hey, drop out, endorse Biden. We're going to throw all of our support at him. Next thing you know, he just had that momentum and he just won the nomination.
See, that's my thing. Democrats should have had this all together before they even put a candidate forward. That's my thing. They wasted so much time.
Not to cut you off here, my thing is this: the man is 77 years old. So let's be realistic. He probably only got one term in him.
Plus, he is losing his mind.
Yeah,
he is losing his mind.
So if you're a Democratic Party chair, if you're thinking long term, you got all these new people that's in Congress that got in AOC, progressive people and the senators that's coming into term, the younger people I say that's coming into government now. If you're thinking long term, I would have put somebody like maybe Yang, what's the other guy from Indiana, the mayor?
Buttigieg.
I mean, I liked him. I liked his idea to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. That is younger ideas, long term wise, and he's I think that was the way to go. But obviously, when you got people that's 80 years old, that's been a senator, or that's been in Congress for 100 years,
they ain't trying to hear that.
They ain't trying to hear that.
I mean, no offense to Pete, but there's no way he could become president straight for being the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. I mean, I think that within itself was just a hard mountain to climb. So
Right. South Bend got the same population as the South Side.
Right.
They ain't managed enough people, especially with
Yeah.
all the stuff that was going on in South Bend while he was the
I,
mayor.
I
Yeah.
can't say I can't say this though, fellas. I think what Trump has showed us uh, that you don't have to be 100% politically correct, I guess to say, to be president.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. That's
so
I mean that's
so
been proven.
so I think the old model of well, you got to be a governor for 100 years, or you got to be a senator for 50 years. You know, I think that old way of you got to have political experience is totally out the door now.
Yeah, I don't know about that though, man. He ain't broke no mold. I mean, he definitely broke the mold getting into office, but he bought the election. We all know all this
But I'm
Russian
saying
interference and
it's
all this shit.
almost,
That shit was real.
but
No, that wasn't
fellas,
real.
That
but
shit
it's
was
almost
real.
like
Russian.
Russia
every
had nothing to do with it.
every day this dude is
Really,
in front of the
right?
podium.
Nothing, huh?
Every day, every day this dude is in front of the podium. It's almost like he's trolling the whole world.
That's all
Like
he doing. And
it's
that's
like
gonna beg, that's begging the country to return to the status quo. That is what is gonna happen. The country's gonna return to the status quo,
what's the
which
status
is
quo though?
which is Joe Biden. If I don't think that Joe Biden gonna win. I think
I
Trump gonna be in
mean,
office another 4
Trump
years.
is the
But
status quo. I mean, he
no,
he
I
he
don't think
is.
he's the status quo.
Yes, he is. I mean, he's not PC, but he is pro Wall Street.
First of all, there'll
but see,
never be another Donald Trump.
but there's clearly a divide, fellas. How do you go from the first black president to
Uh-huh.
Donald Trump back to Joe Biden? Like it doesn't
I
You
make
mean,
you
sense.
went
he is
from
kind of a happy medium. He's half crazy and half smart.
You know what I mean? How, you can't.
that's because Obama failed his base. Remember, he governed. No. He campaigned as a progressive, but he governed like he was a Republican.
Yep.
So that's why people were fed up. They said, "Fuck it, might as well just bring this game show host in and let him run for president and let him win." So it was Obama's failing, and why we have Donald Trump right now. So
I mean,
I just.
you anytime you push in any particular direction, you know, at some
I
point
mean,
you're gonna get that opposite
but
reaction,
but
and that was Trump's. Trump was the opposite of what we got from Obama in a lot of ways. But again, you know, if you shift the paradigm one way, eventually it's gonna shift back. So if you shift this far into insanity with Donald Trump, if he doesn't win again, which I really think he's going to, because of coronavirus, if for some reason he doesn't win, you're shifting back in this direction, going back with a statesman, an elder statesman in Biden.
yeah,
So it's again, all he did was allow for the status quo to make sense to everybody. Like now we know not to ever go with this crazy type of person. We're going to stick to what we've been doing. We're going to keep some stationary politician in place, and we're not going to venture outside of the box to pick up anybody new to try to run this country.
but I think that's a mistake. I think that
It,
I think by the time whoever wins the election, this upcoming election, the geographic, the people already get the older folks are dying off. The younger folks
unfortunately,
are the younger generation is becoming older. So I think, and you already starting to see a change of philosophy. You know, so I think that's why this election is so important because, it, yeah, okay, if Biden wins, okay, cool, but he's 80 years old. You can't tell somebody that's 25 you know what's best for him. It just doesn't work.
well, I
I
mean, who is he? Have they announced his running mate yet? Because I heard talks about Kamala being his running mate.
I don't like that one.
it,
I don't
it
like
was a
that
couple
at
names
all.
floated out. I mean, I heard that Stacey Abrams who was trying to throw her name out there. I heard Kamala. I heard actually I think I heard Buttigieg like at one point, but I mean, right now they still haven't announced it.
Lori Lightfoot for president. That's your next. That's your next run. She want to be the president. I can see it. I can see it, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah.
But I mean, I mean though, the times is changing,
Right.
and it's getting crazy. I think whoever wins this presidential election, it probably only be that one. I think either one, whoever get in the office is gonna be that. Well, obviously, it's gonna be Trump last in office, but I think Biden is not the answer. I think he's just a band-aid for
That's it.
it's a band-aid
for who
what's
else the
going on
Democrats
right
try
now.
to groom, for the future. So yeah.
That's
You know
just
what I mean?
it. These parties need to be grooming their candidates in advance, so somebody like this retard can't come out of the woodworks and just win. You know what I'm saying? Each party, in my opinion, both parties are far too divided. Otherwise, Trump would have never been a viable candidate if the Republican Party had their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Which is why we was 30 candidates for the Democratic nominee. That's way too divided. And a lot of their political views were in alignment. So what was the purpose of having so many? They should have came in the game.
The Republicans did the same thing too, and Trump beat all of them. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. If they had that game together and had already decided, chiseled the party down to 2 or 3 possible candidates, Trump would have never got elected. But they allowed 10, 15 people to be nominees, confusing voters. That was, and they ran losers. I mean, Romney, loser. You know what I'm saying? Same as the Democrats running Hillary. She was already the first loser. So, I mean,
it's that's not about what the DNC is allowing.
Yes, yes, they are.
No, people have every right to run for president.
I agree.
They have every right to do it.
If we in the same group, and I know you got a better chance than me, I'm not finna run just to get people to see if people like me. I don't know nobody like me.
People run for president just to up their like personal profiles, just up their network. So
where's Cory Booker at right now?
He's still a senator.
Exactly. Nobody care about Cory Booker no more. They ain't more interested in him now.
Okay.
He's fine.
I like Cory Booker. Don't get me wrong. Huh?
I'm off that.
Yeah, I think we about done, man. It's about time for that show to come on.
Yeah, I'm about to watch the GOAT. So,
well, listen, guys. Thank y'all for supporting us. Once again, we are really trying to bring better content, and we need you guys' support. So, if you see this video, please like, subscribe, comment. We're trying to get better every day. This is really strange times. So bear with us. We will get better. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Nothing much, man. Man. No, I'm good, man. I'm glad that we're going through episode 8, and I think we are getting better, but we just need to constantly pump out just like fresh content instead of just doing it like once a week. So we just got to come up with a better plan. So that's all.
Yeah, what, everybody, man. My message is, don't go for the okie doke. Corona ain't going nowhere. It's gonna stick around for a while. So, for those states that they are allowing y'all to get out and be free, y'all black people especially, stay your ass in the house for a little while.
Please stay at home.
Suffer, sacrifice. They eager to get y'all back out there in y'all roll so y'all can get sick and die, because they is not gonna miss us if we gone. So chill. Stop having parties, getting sick.
That was 1,000-person house party last night. I believe in the West Side. So
absolute bullshit.
Come on, people, get better. Please get better.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. It's been one.
All right, y'all. One.
Have a good one, y'all.
I'll let y'all.